Hi, I'm Nate the Maker, and today I'm going to make a butcher block style desk out of these pieces of wood. Hi, on this episode of First Time Makes, I'm going to be making my desk. This is another woodworking video, and I promise this isn't a woodworking channel, but I needed the furniture, so this is what I did. If you haven't seen my bed video, check it out right here, and let's get back to the desk. Now this is the inspiration I had for my desk. I found it on a similar website where I found my bed, and I really liked the design and the layout, and I was really looking for an L-shaped desk. I took this design and I made it over in Fusion 360 just so I can get the dimensions and the angles correct. So far, these pieces of wood have been taken from the lumberyard. They've been cut down to length and then cut into 1 by what they call 4/4 by 16. And so I have a whole bunch of these pieces. I'm gonna make 2 desktops. One is gonna be 6 by 2 feet, and the other one's gonna be 4 by 2 feet. And they're gonna make an L, so I'll have 6 by 6. And what I'm gonna do is just take all these pieces, line them up in a cool and random pattern, and then glue it up. And we'll have some desktops. Then we'll have to make legs and some supports that'll run underneath the bottom to support this desk. But first, let's get to the colorful wood. Now for these woods, we have a Sapele, which is a rich orange wood. We have Goncalo, which has streaks of dark brown with a lighter red color. We have zebra wood. It looks exactly like a zebra. It's super cool. We have birch, which is a simpler light colored wood. Purple heart is my favorite. It's completely all the way through of just purple. It's not dyed. This is the natural color. And last we have Jatoba, another red shaded wood, a little bit lighter than the Goncalo. So I'm going to start off making the 4x2. So these are 16 inches long, so there'll be 3 colors across. I have some random cutoff pieces from the edge of each of these that I'll use to start so that each one doesn't start at exactly 16 and go to the next. It'll be more random and tiled. It'll actually look kind of like this top right here, just with a lot more different colors. Let's get started. First, I'm going to put down a layer of parchment paper because I'm going to put a lot of glue on this and I don't want the glue to get to the table. I just want it to stay with the block itself. So before I get to any gluing, I want to lay out all my pieces. Now this is to make sure I have a proper random set and I have enough pieces in a row so that it will be wide enough so that when I cut it down to length, I won't be missing any chunks anywhere. Now once the entire board has been laid out, I'll separate it, I'll put glue between the layers, and push it all back together. And after it's all glued up, you will need plenty of clamps. I had more clamps than I even own on here. I had to borrow a few just to make sure everything was together and tight and kept straight as possible. You'll notice the 2x4s running across the top that are also clamped down. This was to apply pressure from the top to make sure the wood didn't bow when it was gluing. After waiting overnight for the glue to dry, I took off all the parchment paper and the clamps, and this is what it looks like. Still a long ways from a desk. Now it's time to complete the exact same steps, but for the other side of the desk. Once both pieces were finished drying, they needed to be cut down to length before being finished. You'll notice there's a lot of glue that seeped through the cracks during glue up, and the boards aren't exactly at the same heights. Luckily, I was given the chance to use a planer. Now what a planer does is make sure two sides of a plank are perfectly parallel to each other. Now this planer was only rated for 24 inches, and that's exactly the size of what my desk was. And so putting it into the planer was kind of tricky, but once it got started, it was good to go, and luckily everything went well. Several passes were needed to take the wood down from around 0.82 inches to just under 3/4. And that's not that much, but you're also talking about a lot of surface area of wood that needs to get cut down. But wow, did it look pretty after it was done. So I just got these desktops back from the planer, and my God, they are beautiful. They're perfectly flat. More importantly, these faces are parallel with each other, so that this will be a flat desk. The legs will be flat against it, and then all my stuff will be flat on top of the desk. And it's already smooth. Still going to take this down to about 320 grit sandpaper, but these pieces are almost finished. The other things that I have to take care of is there are a couple pieces on the edge that I need to sand down because the planer doesn't reach on the edge, and I'll take the sander and I'll just slowly go over and make sure those are all good. I'm going to give these edges a little bit of a round so that they're not so sharp, and then it's time to add the polyurethane, and I could not be more excited. Look at these things! Next up was to make the legs for the desk. Now I set the chop saw to the correct angle and made sure I cut each piece to that exact same angle so that all the leg pieces would fit together. Plus I also cut out the cross supports for the legs and the desk, and what this is going to do is help support the desktop so it's not spanning a full 6 feet. So pocket holes are an extremely simple way of holding together two pieces of wood, and what they are is you basically drill a hole through one piece and a little bit into another one, and then you get a specialized drill bit and you drill in the screw at an angle that holds on to the first piece and gets drilled into the second piece. The fun part about these is they also come with these fun little caps where you put in some glue, slide the cap in, and the pocket hole disappears. The last thing I needed to do was countersink some holes, and these would fit the screws that would attach the legs to the desk. So I have all my legs and the underneath runners done and complete. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a tack cloth and wipe them all down to get rid of all the dust. Then I'm gonna coat each one in a few coats of polyurethane, and that's gonna seal it and protect the wood from whatever. And in between each coat, I'm gonna take 400 grit sandpaper and just run over all of the edges and make sure it's smooth before I apply the next coat. Let's get started. Now it's just time to assemble the desk in my room. I've been using this desk now for a few weeks and I absolutely love it. Every time I look down and see the purple heart and the zebra wood just pop, it's amazing, and it's just a great feeling that, hey, I built this desk and it looks beautiful. Thank you for watching this episode of First Time Makes. Unfortunately, there weren't as many mistakes as I thought there were gonna be making this desk. It was a much easier build compared to the bed, and I think doing the bed first really prepared me to make this desk. Thank you for watching. If you have any ideas for what you want me to build, or if you have any ideas of what you want to build, I'd love to talk to you about it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.